Debbie Gavin with us here at McCarthy Tire Service in Wilkes-Barre, and we're talking about the Nanticoke Trojanettes volleyball team and coach, another successful season. This time it ends in a district championship. Let's talk about the run for these ladies.
John, yes, thank you. It did end up in another championship. It's a three-peat for us, so that makes it very, very special. The last 2-3 years and beyond, we have worked very, very hard to get to this point. Really thrilled that it was a three-peat. Practices were very hard. We started in August. We go about 5-6 days a week most of the time, and it was a rough schedule this year. We had a lot of weeks where there were 3 games, tournaments going on. I think it really helped us, and I have a great bunch of kids to work with.
How do you do it year in and year out? Talk about, obviously you got to have the players, but you have a great foundation there. You have a system. It always seems like it works. So talk about what you think your model is for success at Nanticoke.
Well, it does work, and I'm very happy that it does. My assistant coach, my husband, he's a great guy to have around the kids. He's a big, big help. I have another assistant, Matt Radensky. He's on the younger side, which is good. It helps to bring the kids along with us. Sometimes I get a little concerned because I am a retired school teacher from Nanticoke. I've been out 5 years. I worry about recruiting kids for volleyball. But I'm a big fan of basketball, love it. And I do have a lot of basketball players and other athletes on my team, and I think that helps. And we have a great bunch of parents who have some very, very coachable kids that they send us. My kids come from great homes. They listen. They're just good all-around athletes.
Seeing the girls walk in today here at McCarthy Tire, I'm like, this is a tall group. Do you stand at the door being retired and see these girls walk in? It seems like you have every tall girl in the building, but obviously there's a lot of skill to it as well, but nice when you have a little bit of height.
Oh, absolutely. We are lucky. This is probably one of the tallest teams that we've had in many, many years. And like I said, most of them are basketball players. Some come from track and other sports. And they do have some pretty nice verticals on them, but we do work hard on jumping. I mean, defense wins games, and we have worked very hard on our blocking.
Let's talk a little bit about the makeup of the team between the senior leadership and the younger players. What's the mix this year?
I couldn't ask for a bunch of better seniors. I could put a 7th grader on the court with them, and they would accept that 7th grader if I could play a 7th grader, but they have great personalities. They all get along. They make everybody on the team feel welcome. I have no problems with team chemistry, personality, nothing like that, and I think that was a big success for us also.
Well, you love to see the work ethic out of student athletes, and you're saying you're getting it. Let's talk about the next step for this group. You're going to head to the state playoffs, and always a challenge for any of our local volleyball teams, whether it's the girls or the guys, but what are you looking forward to?
Well, we're going to work hard at practice the next 2 days. There's no doubt about that. And right now, presently, we don't know where we're headed or who we're exactly playing. I think the team we play is playing tonight. So we'll find out tomorrow, Sunday morning, what's happening. Do our best, play our very best game that we can, but once you step out of the area, I call it volleyball heaven. A lot of people down in those areas are born with volleyballs. Up here, we're born with basketball. So, yeah, we'll have a challenge, but we'll take it on, we'll accept it.
Let's talk about all the positives this year and the way your team works as a unit out there on the court. You mentioned some strong defense, but let's talk about some of those top hitters and people that are able to set the ball for them.
Okay, I have Karlie Reiss, who is the senior who sets for us, and I also have Riley Miller. I have interchanged both of them all season, and without the two of them, I don't think we would have been in any kind of a championship. They both offer a little bit different capabilities on the court. Karlie gives us a little bit more blocking than Riley. Riley gives us a little bit more speed. Very happy to have them. Our passing gets the ball, of course, to our quarterback, which is our setters, and our hitters. We have Alisa Lewis out there. She's fantastic. Joanne Baron out there. She's fantastic. We've thrown Abby Cullen into the mix. We've thrown Jenna Berenice, her Joanne's sister, into the mix. We also have Mila Vanook out there hitting. We have a variety of hitters out there that we can put in. We have a pretty strong bench coming in. And my librero, Megan Duda, can also hit a 10 ball. So can the other girls in the back row. So that mix has really helped us out with our setting.
Serving-wise, some of the same names or some different names there?
Same names. I think consistently we have served well all year. Every once in a while we have a glitch or two with one of the kids, and then we just hold them back at practice. We work a little bit harder. And I think on the whole our serving has been really, really good this year. And, you know, they're like foul shots. Serves have to be made, so we concentrate on that.
Life in retirement, you know, some people they'll get a job, some people will relax. You happen to be coaching with your husband, a unique situation. Talk about the volleyball, that talk at home, and how that kind of carries over.
Well, that is an interesting situation since we are married, and I am the head coach, he is the assistant. But my husband is a 20-year military guy. He has no problem working with a strong woman who has ideas. He's great to have around the court. He's more the fun side. I'm more the disciplinary side. I keep the structure. Jimmy is great with drills and skills and things like that. At home, yes. If there's any arguments at home, it's over volleyball. Being the head coach, I win.
Well, great to hear, and congratulations on another win, and as you say, 3 in a row there for Nanticoke, and look forward to the state playoffs.
Thank you very much, John. I appreciate it.
Jim Gammon with us, assistant coach at Nanticoke with the volleyball program. And Jim, let's talk about the girls and just another tremendous year for these young ladies at Nanticoke.
Well, we couldn't do anything without the dedication and commitment that they show us every day.
Some tall girls, some talented girls out there. Talk about the athletes that you have. A lot of these girls play basketball.
Yep, we wish we had more basketball players. It helps them with their jump.
That's for sure. How about just being around these girls and coaching them up, and what kind of your wife said, hey, she's a little bit more of the serious side. Do the girls still have some fun while they're out there, get some laughs in?
Oh yeah. We're very serious when we practice, but we have to mix a little fun in there to keep them interested in work.
Let's talk about your military background with your wife. She's very structured, so talk a little bit about how that mix goes as a coaching duo there at Nanticoke.
Oh yeah, we work well together, my wife and I. We set things up together, we practice well together, we make sure the girls drill together, very disciplined.
Let's talk about the competition in the league year in and year out. And of course, this is 3 championships in a row, which always feels good. And every year there's a great product. Talk a little bit about playing that competition and having such a good record. I think 18-2 or something like that this year. You got to feel pretty darn good.
Yeah, we had a very good season. We had some tough competition. Tunkhannock was fantastic when they ended their season. They had, from the beginning of the season, they had mixed up their lineup a little bit, and they got all the girls pulling together at the end. It was fantastic.
How about this particular group of young ladies this year at Nanticoke? What kind of stood out for you to say this team was special because, or they did this and this is why they won a championship?
All the girls pull together. They're like a family. They're not like a team. They hang together at practice. They hang together outside of practice. So we're a very cohesive unit that way.
There's so much tradition in sports at Nanticoke. Obviously, academics are important as well. But the community seems to rally around the athletic programs, and big in the the 70s and the 80s, if not. But the football team wins an Eastern Conference championship. That's got to feel good. But programs like yourself with the volleyball team, it brings a sense of pride in the community.
We get a lot of fans that come to our games, and whether we win or lose, they're dedicated fans. We love them out there.
Jim, a pleasure to catch up with you. Congratulations, and keep having fun with your wife.
Thank you very much.
Mila Viduk is with us. She is a freshman from Nanticoke here on the Joanne Mendola Show at McCarthy Tire Service. And Mila, let's talk about what varsity athletics was like for you this year, getting right out there on the volleyball court. Was it shocking to you at first?
Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking because as a freshman, I've never played in any varsity sports whatsoever. And when you have to go out there for the first time in a varsity game, everyone's cheering in the crowd, and if you make a mistake, it's a big deal. But the team really helped me when I made a big mistake because they told me to shake it off, it's no big deal. So the team really made it easy for me and helped me go through it.
That was one of Coach Gavin's points. She said, listen, these girls would welcome in a 7th grader and make everything comfortable for them. Talk about some of those seniors or juniors and made you feel like, okay, we're going to be okay, whether it's in the beginning practices, maybe you have a pasta party, or maybe you guys are hanging out at the movies. Talk a little bit about that warmth that you got.
The seniors, they're probably like the greatest seniors you could have for your freshman year because like between games and practices, they play music, they get you fired up, they want you dancing. When you make a mistake on the court, like I said, they shake your hand, they tell you to shake it off, it's no big deal. And the juniors, Riley, our setter, Riley Miller, she really helps me. She always tells me where to go on the court. She tells me the open spots. She always helps me. She's a great asset to the team.
Let's talk about your brother Nathan, who's 9. Does he come out and watch and support you?
Nathan comes to all of my games. He couldn't be there on Halloween though because he was trick-or-treating. But yeah, he comes to my games and he loves them. I hear him cheer for me.
You're pretty good in geometry and science. You're doing well with A's in the classroom. You're going to go to college a few years from now. That's still a ways away. Any thoughts right now on a career path?
Oh yeah, definitely. Since I was about 10 years old, I wanted to go into like eye care and be an optometrist.
Pretty darn cool. Let's talk about your parents and why they're a role model for you.
My parents are always at every game. They tell me when I had a good game. They'll tell me when I didn't have my best game, so they know what to do for my next game. And they always give me support.
You also have a cousin that you look up to as well.
Yeah, Madison Granovsky. She goes to Misericordia University and she plays on the field hockey team. And she really helps me to like do better in life.
Well, Mila, it sounds like you are having a phenomenal freshman season. I know you're looking forward to basketball coming up, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Alisa Lewis with us here on the John Mendola Show at McCarthy Tire. And Alisa, let's talk about your senior season here, how things went on the volleyball court.
It went really well. I'm excited that my senior season got to end like this. This is what we wanted at the ultimate goal, and I mean, me and the team, our coach is really excited about how it ended and what we got to accomplish.
Let's talk about your role on the team. What did you need to do to help your team be successful?
Well, I definitely had to be a leader, help everyone out, help the freshmen out. We have a really good freshman, Milo that's starting. And I also wanted to take over like the jokes the rule, you know, make everyone laugh, have a good time, make sure everyone's having fun during the season, at the games, at practice. So as long as everyone's having a good time, hopefully we'll keep winning.
That fun part's so important, and self-admittedly, the coaches are like, listen, we're pretty serious and structured at practice. So you go from, hey, we're doing this, we're going to do this for 10 minutes, we're going to go over here for 12 minutes. I mean, you're getting a lot of structure there. Talk about what you like about that, because there's definitely elements of success at Nanticoke with the volleyball program.
Our coaches do actually a great job, especially at practice. We have certain drills we do every day just to get ourselves like in the groove of things. Definitely know how to work us, but definitely the fun part is a really important part we have. Like just little simple drills, but we'll always turn them into a good time.
Glad to hear. Well, let's talk a little bit about basketball for you, something you take pretty darn seriously, what you're looking forward to with that.
I'm super excited for basketball season when volleyball season ends. I'm really looking forward to it. We have a new coach. I have some volleyball teammates that have come right over to basketball season, so we'll hopefully have a good time.
Well-rounded, you are Honor Society, Student Council, Vice President. Talk about doing the job in the classroom and being good academically.
I'm really super glad that I can say I'm from Nanticoke. I'm really happy that the volleyball team can represent our school in such a good way. I'm really happy that we can make a good name for our school, and just being involved always helps. It makes me really proud to go to Nanticoke.
You like science,
Yeah.
that A average, high 90s, which is awesome. How about the next step for you? You want to go to college, but you're still kind of not real set on a major?
No, I'm not really set on anything. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. Definitely want to go to college, not sure where, not sure what to do, but I'll figure it out.
Cool. It's a quiet confidence, but you'll figure it out. I like that. Let's talk about your brother, Justin.
He's 21. He just graduated a couple years ago from Wilkes-Barre University. He lives down in Philly. So when I get to go visit him, it's always fun. He comes in for holidays.
Neat. Let's talk about your role models in your life.
My dad, my Uncle Johnny, and my poppy actually just passed away a couple months ago. And, I think he'd be really proud with these last coming up seasons I have, especially basketball. And Uncle Johnny's the basketball boys coach. He's always by my side. He always gives me great advice. He's another coach in my life, so he's always at my side pretty much.
Well, Alyssa, it sounds like you've had a nice season. Obviously, thanks for sharing your personal story here today, and we wish you the best going forward.
Thank you.
Joanne Baron joins us here from Nanticoke. We're talking about the volleyball team that's had tremendous success the last several years, and let's talk about your role on the team. You're one of the hitters, and there's a lot of hitters on this team and a lot of tall girls, so how do you fit in with the squad?
I'm basically the senior captain that tells everyone how it should be run, and I try to be a role model for them, for the younger ones.
Well, Coach has given you some kudos, and the other teammates that are seniors saying you're doing a great job with the younger players. Talk about some of those younger players this year that are able to make an impact.
Mila Vanook really stepped up this year for us. She's a freshman. Jenna Berenice stepped up too. I'm really proud of them.
Jenna Baron, talk about her, your sister.
Yeah, she's my sister.
What's it like on the court with her and then off the court? And do you feel like, well, maybe I'm liking her a little bit more now I see her play?
It's really just the same thing. We just always had a close relationship, and when we go on the court, it's like nothing's changed.
You play basketball, softball, so what do you like about each of those sports?
I like that it's a game. Like, you just have to keep playing and playing, and it's just repetitive.
Let's talk about the Gavins as coaches and what they're like. So they're pretty serious about it.
They've always just pushed us to do our best no matter what, and they've always accepted us for doing that.
You're a National Honor Society member, part of the French National Honor Society as well, and you like history, 97 average. Talk about all these things going well for you. Probably a lot of work on your part, but how does it feel to have such good accomplishments?
It feels really good, just including like volleyball and stuff. It's unbelievable.
Let's talk about life after high school. What are you thinking of doing? Do you have a thought, or you're kind of not sure?
I'm unsure as of right now what I want to do and where I want to go, but hopefully in the future I will know.
Let's talk about a role model in your life that you look up to.
I look up to Karlie Reiss for volleyball because she has won a lot of Olympic titles, and hopefully I'll be as great as her one day.
And as far as your sister Jenna, who's 15, talk about how you get along off the court and some fun that you have, or are you still kind of in that stage where, it's my sister?
We're kind of getting out of that stage, like, of her being my sister and her just being like my friend and always there. I have to drive her everywhere all the time, and it's kind of annoying, but if she comes, then I have to take her friend too, so I'm kind of like their chauffeur, and it's okay.
I'm sure it'll all work out, Jillian. Well, congratulations on a successful season, and we wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Jenna Baron is with us from Nanticoke here on the Joanne Mendola Show at McCarthy Tire Service. And Jenna, how much fun are you having this year with the squad?
I'm having a lot of fun. We're really doing good this year.
How about with your sister? Talk about your relationship with her.
Well, it's brought us a lot closer than we used to be because we have to bond a lot more with the team and play together now. So I guess it's really helping us out for the better.
She said she loves driving you around, by the way.
Oh yeah, best part.
Let's talk about height-wise. Who's taller, you or her?
She has me by an inch still, but I'm going to pass her off soon.
This is a tall team, right?
Yeah.
Talk about some of the heights of the girls.
Yeah, when we first started practice, we realized that we're going to have a really tall team, which makes it good for blocking and stuff. So we had some good hopes coming in with that, and it's really working to our benefit.
How about your role on the team? How did it develop this year? Talk about, obviously everybody has a role. You have a freshman that's played a big role this year. The seniors have done a real good job with their leadership. You're a sophomore, so tell us how you fit in.
I feel like I'm probably helping out with the younger team, the JV team that isn't as into varsity, but I'm trying to get them cheer and get into it a lot more, and I'm trying to be more of a leader for the people that are the same age as me and younger, so that way they can push to be a starter on varsity too.
Basketball, softball, a couple other sports you play. Do you enjoy both of those as much as volleyball?
Not as much. Volleyball's probably my favorite, but I still like them a lot.
You're in the French Honor Society, much like your sister, and you do some other fun stuff. Talk about some of the team bonding stuff, the dancing, the singing, the food.
Well, for our last big game, the district championship, with the practice before, we have some cheerleaders on the team, so they taught us a couple cheers, and we just had a good time at the end of practice to really get us pepped up before the big game.
That's cool. You enjoy English, ranked in the top 10 of your class, which is awesome, 98.3 average. Talk about being so good academically and where that comes from.
Well, when I was younger, I was put into the gifted program, so I've always been pushed to be better and try to be as best as I can in academics. And my family is really supportive, and they try to make sure I get the highest grades possible. And so it just kind of helps me out with my athletics too.
Because sometimes, where's the pressure come from? Do you feel like it comes more from yourself than from your folks, or they have to kind of stay on you a little bit?
No, I feel for certain subjects it comes from myself a lot more. In math, I feel I push myself a lot more, but when it comes to topics that I'm good at, it really comes from my family to make sure I'm on top.
Let's talk about those role models in your life. I know your parents are very important to you, also your French teacher, so tell us how that all kind of works out.
So my parents are just really supportive, and I really want to try to be like that when I'm older, because anything I want to do, they're always my number one supporters. And then my French teacher, she just always seems she's always has it under control, even if she's in having a rough time, she's just very calm and collected, and she handles things the best way. So I'd like to do be able to do that.
Jenna, great to hear your story. I know you have a couple more years to go, and keep it going.
Okay, thank you.
Liz Radensky joining us here on the John Mendola Show at McCarthy Tire Service in Wilkes-Barre from Nanticoke. And it's your senior year. A lot of success with this volleyball program. Talk about being a part of it.
I like to be a leader on the team, and it's a really good team to be on. And I like to represent the school that way. We work really hard.
Your coaches seem like they kind of have things lined up every practice. Talk about what it's been like playing for them.
Well, our practices are pretty serious. We have a lot of laughs, but it's mostly real business with that. And they play a big role. They're always there to yell at us, obviously, and all that.
Encourage you, right?
Encourage, yep.
And of course, there's things going on all the time at the school. There's academics and athletics. You have to balance all that stuff.
Yeah.
How are you able to balance that?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Bad question.
Just think about, I'll just skip the question.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about some activities at school. Student Council, National Honor Society, being involved not just with sports, you're also involved academically as well.
Yeah. For Student Council, I'm the treasurer, so I thought that would be a good thing to be a part of for senior year. I wanted to be involved my senior year, so I tried to get out there as much as possible.
Talk about some of the dancing and the fun and the things you do that kind of keeps things light for the volleyball team.
That's our favorite thing to do is dance. That's all we do on the bus, at practice. She yells at us sometimes because the music's too loud.
But you're winning, right?
Whatever it takes.
Kelly, an older sister? Tell us a little bit about that.
She's always there to support me and everything. We're very different. She's not really into sports, but she's always there to help me with anything like that.
Well, let's talk about your parents and the role they play in coming out to support you at volleyball, or saying, hey, but I gotta study a little bit more.
My parents are always at my games no matter what. They're always there. They've never missed, I don't think, a volleyball game. They always tell me I need to find time management for sports and academics, but it works out.
Well, it seems like it's working out. You're doing some great stuff with that Honor Society and the Student Council. Liz, we wish you the best going forward.
Okay, thank you.
Hailey Hendrix here on the John Mendola Show. We continue the conversation about the Trojanet volleyball team. It's your senior year, so let's talk a little bit about winning another district championship. Feels pretty darn good, I'm sure.
Oh, it's awesome. Just being in the Wilkes University gym the third year in a row and winning, it's just a great feeling.
What is it about this senior class? Tell us a little bit about what they've done.
We don't really care, we love everyone on the team. We don't look down on anyone because they're younger than us. We just get along with everyone, and it's just a good time.
Let's talk about your other things that you're involved with at school, Student Council, a Spirit Committee, just trying to be well-rounded, so.
The Spirit Committee, plans the pep rallies and stuff, and Student Council has a lot to do with the pep rallies and everything, too.
You have a sister, Avery, who's a little bit younger. Tell us about what she's up to.
She really likes to sing. She speaks her mind. She doesn't care what she says. It's just first thing that she thinks, it's coming right out of her mouth.
And I'm sure she looks up to you in some way. She may not admit it.
Yeah.
But you guys are probably, you'll get a little bit a better relationship, as we all did when we were younger. It's pretty cute. Let's talk about a couple subjects you enjoy: history and psychology.
Yes.
And you're carrying a 3.5 grade point average. So what is it about school you enjoy?
I don't like waking up early, but I don't mind going every day. I have a good time, all my friends. It's fun. I don't know. I like school.
Next step for you. Let's talk about college. What are some choices that you're looking at?
Kutztown or Temple. I plan on visiting Temple. I've already been down to Kutztown, and yeah, that's about it.
Two good choices.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your folks and their role with you and why you look up to them.
Well, my mom, she's just very strong and she's very independent, and she is the strongest woman I've ever met in my life, and she plays a big role in my life, and I don't know where I would be without her.
Well, Hailey, it's another district championship, on to states. We wish you the very best. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Karlie Reiss is with us from Nanticoke as we talk about the Trojanets volleyball team and the success they've had. Let's talk about your role as a setter. You got a lot of bigs to set the ball to, and a lot of big hitters. So what's it like for you?
Well, we have to set up the ball for the hitters, and we have really good hitters, so it's pretty good for the team to
Does
The
it
ball
feel
get kills.
Does it feel easy because they're so good, or do you
Oh, yeah,
feel like
sometimes-
there's pressure?
Some passes are good, and then there are some that you have to chase down, but it's not that bad.
Talk about the amount of time you put into practice with Coach Gavin.
Well, we work a lot, and we do a lot of push-ups and laps, and they push us really hard.
So you got a military coach in Mr. Gavin.
Yeah.
Well, Mrs. Gavin is quite structured and
Yeah,
kind of
she's-
can push you a lot.
She,
Let's talk a little bit about the cheerleading, student council, National Honor Society. You're well-rounded.
it takes up a lot of time, but I can manage it pretty well.
Let's talk about some of the fun that you have with the girls.
We like to sing and dance on the bus and do a lot of cheers, and it's a lot of team bonding, and I love it.
Two brothers, a younger one and an older one, so tell us about each of them.
Well, they both support me very much, and they're like my best friends.
And then down the road here, you want to go to college, and I think one of the other girls is talking about being an optometrist.
Yeah.
You as well?
Yep. Me
Okay.
and Mila.
Talk a little bit about where that came from.
Well, my aunt and my uncle are both optometrists, so
That's a good,
Yeah.
keep the family genes going. Let's talk about your folks and how they push you and what they expect of you.
they're very supportive, and they come to every one of my games, so I love that, and they're like my friends.
What do you think made this team so good this year?
Probably the coaches and everyone putting their time into practices and all being there for each other.
Karlie, well, the best of luck in your future endeavors. Sounds like the future's pretty bright for you.
Thank you.
Riley Miller is with us here at Nanticoke as we talk about the volleyball team and yet another district championship at McCarthy Tire Service. And Riley, let's talk about what your role is on the team.
So I'm a setter. I started almost every game, and then Karlie would come in when we needed blocking. She's a lot taller than I am, and she's very good at what she does.
This team is so talented. What's it like having so much talent around you and everybody fighting for position? Say, hey, I want to get on the court. I want to play a little bit. You know, you have maybe a girl comes in as a defensive specialist or whatever, but when you get out there, you have to perform.
Yes, it's very, very competitive this year between all the seniors, you know, and then they're leaving, so everyone's fighting for their positions. It's very competitive.
Basketball, track, a couple other sports you do, so talk about how you do in each of them.
So basketball, you know, it's
A lot of defense there in Nanticoke, right?
oh yes. Track, do the 4x1, 4x4, sometimes the 100. I'll throw javelin, and then just wherever they need me.
Pretty diverse. I like that. Let's talk about being a part of the Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, Student Council. So you kind of push yourself?
Yes, I do. Yes.
How about your brother Derek? What's he up to?
He does basketball as well. He baseball. You know, he's pretty good in school. You know, he pushes me. You know.
You like biology. You have right around a 3.8, 3.9 grade point average. So talk about being so dedicated in the classroom.
You know, I sit there and I study as often as possible. You know, juggling between all three sports and school, it's tough, but you know, I got to get through it.
Talk about your folks and why they're your role models and why you look up to them.
Well, my mom, you know, she's always there for me. I always talk to her. She always puts a smile on my face. My dad, the same thing. He's always telling me and pushing me to do better.
All right, Riley. Well, we wish you the best going forward, and congratulations on a lot of success this year.
Thank you.